really wanted to thank our guest, Sarah Martin. Sarah, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
We had a last minute cancellation and Sarah jumped in and said, I'll do it. I'm in. Now, Sarah, tell us a little bit about where you are. And I notice you have a number of designations, your GRI and ABR and several others. Tell us where you're from and tell us why you went after some of these certifications.
So I am in Waco, Texas. I'm with JPAR White Label Realty. And over the last year, obviously things kind of went crazy with the pandemic. And so I felt it was really important to really start gaining education. When I became an agent, I've been an agent almost 2 years. I felt it was really, really important to know who I was as an agent, know who I was as an agent, but also be very educated as an agent, because it's really important when you're guiding your people. And so I started really pushing to get my GRI, my ABR, my SR, just to help people. And so, you learn a lot of things in those classes. And so it's very helpful to me as an agent, a new agent.
Well, with over 30 past clients, recently, and that's a lot of folks you're helping. What have you learned from just working with people?
I was a licensing and compliance administrator for a really large insurance company that, um, deployed people during catastrophic events.
Mhm.
And I found myself really thirsting for being around people, not being around people in a cubicle. And so my heart is service, my heart is helping people. And so this really catapulted me into real estate, because I don't know of any other industry where you get to serve people the way you do, and have really high highs and really low lows, and then good days, bad days, things like that. And so it's been such a fun experience as far as like helping my people in that sort of way. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, the highs and the lows, h- how do you deal? How do you deal with the lows? How do you work through those and push forward?
you know um I have a really great family. I have a really great husband who is like, you're fine, get out of bed, you're good, because I think we as agents get personally invested in what we're doing. We get personally invested with our people. And so when they're upset, we're upset. And it's hard, for me, I'm learning the balance between the almost the disconnect, but it's not just a job. You become personally invested in your people. And so um, I just live every day with the idea of that I'm taking care of my people. And so the low days are not as many, I pray they're not as many as the good days. So they outweigh themselves.
Yeah,
So.
outweigh yourself. You keep persevering.
Mhm.
Now, you have school age children and service to the community and volunteering with your kids is a big part of not only who you are, but you've made it part of your business. And how have you done that effectively?
When you talk about your sphere of influence, when I first got in, I didn't know. I was really scared because I thought, who do I know? Like, what am I doing? Like, because it's a lot easier to say, to serve and not be known. And there's something about real estate when you become your brand, you have to put yourself out there. And so I had to change my attitude as we did this to I did, this is things I've done. This is, I had to be more me. And so one of the ways that I have been successful is that I'm a band parent and I'm very active in my kids' school's band program. And I've actually helped two of the band directors already purchase homes, and we're working on a third. And so I've helped another band parent friend, buy a new home and sell a new home. And so you have to think smaller. I think we think if we put ourselves out on social media that all these people are going to flock to us. Well, the people who love you are going to flock to you. The people who see you on a regular basis and go, I really like her, I really trust her, she knows what she's doing. They're going to come to you in that way. They're going to refer their family to you because they know you, and
Mhm.
they know that you care about people.
Yeah,
So
for
it
sure.
worked for me.
Well, you believe, as I do, that comparison is the thief of joy. And, your goal, as you stated, as we prep today, is to be yourself. And how did you come to that conclusion that, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses?
Well, I think it's really scary. And, in the beginning of 2020, I was working two jobs. I was working my full-time job as well as working in real estate. And I, dove headfirst in January of 2020. And then things were going great. And then, as you know, we all sort of halted with COVID, and it was terrifying. And you see social media, everybody's showing you their highlight reels. They're not showing you the hard days. They're showing you the success. And we are all in some level having success, but I had to look at myself and go, you know what? The very best agent for my clients is Sarah, because Sarah is Sarah. And no other agent is going to be, better with working than me, because
Right.
I'm me. And so I started, pivoting my social media to my life. I have things that, like Sarah versus farm animals, where you go on a tour, and there's, we've all dealt with the duck, that chased you, and or we've all dealt with chickens, and things like that. And so I brought who I am. I live off of humor. And so it's done really well for me in that, for that.
Yeah,
So
and it's so, I don't know the word I want to use, but the traditional media is all about the negative, right? Everything that's
right.
wrong in the world, and then the social media is all about what's positive in the world, and we know there's reality somewhere in between, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
Now,
I didn't tell you that, like, I do have school age children, but I have a junior in high school. And I mean, like, on a regular basis, like, I'm like, oh, how I'm going to get this kid through school. I mean, we all have families, we all have lives that we deal with. And so we don't always show that.
I remember being a junior in high school, and God bless my mother. I don't know how she survived.
There's a reason they have Mother's Day. I'm telling you what.
There,
So,
there is a reason, and I pushed every parameter I could push. Man, I was a piece of work.
right.
Well, I love your logo. Love people, love Waco. Love people, love Waco. How did you come up with that?
Honestly, there was a logo that was "Love Jesus, Love Waco," and
Hmm.
so I that is my fundamental "Love Jesus, Love Waco." But with real estate, it's "Love people, love Waco," and so my market is Waco and the surrounding areas, and so. My heart is that I love people, and I also love Waco. And so my goal is to find you a home, help you sell your home if you are having to leave or wanting to move up or find your forever home. And so that's my heart. And so I think that's the quickest way to show people who I am. So
Yeah, there we go. Well, despite the global pandemic and everything we went through, and lockdowns and Stormageddons and all that kind of stuff, you continue to persevere. Was that because you're on a mission for your family, a mission for yourself? What kept you pushing forward despite all of these obstacles that the market put in front of you?
Um, I'm a very competitive person. My dad was is retiring football coach, and so I was raised, and I have two brothers, and I'm very competitive, and so I compete with myself. I compete with others. I don't play Monopoly with my husband because it doesn't end well, and and so there is this for me as as a woman and a mom. I want my kids to see that I can be successful and be an amazing mom. But for myself, I want to be successful in my business. I want to grow that, so when my kids are older and they're not in the house anymore, I have something to, continue to work hard for, and and be mine. So I really like that. And it helps take care of my family. So I love it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of football, and your dad being a coach, I wrote a blog around 5 lessons that we can learn from the death crawl scene in Facing
Mm,
the Giants. I'm going to post that in the chat
Love
bar. I'll post it into the Facebook Live right after. 5 lessons you can learn from the death crawl. It was an amazing scene. I don't know if you remember it.
I do. I love that movie. It's awesome.
Yeah. And so I wrote a blog about that. Check that out today. Well, with that, Sarah, we certainly loved having you on today. Any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the JPAR Nation before we wrap up this morning show?
You know, just that nobody will be the best agent for your clients than you. And they chose you because you are you. And to continue to be who you are, continue with your integrity and honor, and you'll be the best for your clients.
For sure. And that reminds me of another blog that I wrote this week about your brand. I don't know if you've seen that one, Sarah. Let me pull that one up real quick. Your brand is really all you have, right?
Absolutely.
And what is your brand? Your brand is what people say about the experience when you're not there, right?
Absolutely.
What sets you apart? Who do you serve? How do you help them? What's your experience like? And if your brand is generating consistent referrals, it's working for you. If it's not, there's some things to work on. So we'll post that blog as well. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us on this morning club. Come back again, yes?
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I loved it. Thanks.
All right. Well, there's our morning club for the JPAR Nation this May 11th of 2021. Until we see you in the morning, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. Take care.